Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I know today's video is a little bit off schedule, but it's a little bit special to me because today marks essentially 10 years of plannering and bullet journaling, which is what you see here. So yes, I do still have quite a fair bit, and I thought it would be kind of fun to take a really major trip down memory lane kind of situation. So I'm going to start basically by, I won't go backwards in time, I'm going to go forward, so like starting from the first all the way till today, kind of. I mean, you already know what today looks like, but yeah. So let me get some of these out of the way first. So I started with something a lot smaller than A5, I think. So this is an A5 Muji planner. So okay, I started with something about A5. So this is the first planner that I have ever used, and I personally find it hilarious. I basically went on internship overseas and did not bring any like planning materials whatsoever, and not enough stationery as well. So I bought this and I got caught in the rain, which is why you see this bleed over here. I think it was like handmade paper and stuff. So this was basically February to May, and it was really your classic the original bullet journal back in, this was 2014. So events, tasks, nothing really fancy, and then like you have like all the days and the month, the date, basically the date, and then things to do. So it was quite, I mean, this is a very plain, I mean, literally it's just black ink. Like it's super straightforward. Like I was on internship at that point in time, so that's what I used this for. And this basically, I didn't even use it all the way to the end because I started using it in June a bit, July a bit, and then suddenly I used this for school, and that was about it. I actually still have quite a number of pages left. Part of it is that the lines are really small, which I actually enjoy for lined notebooks, and that's that. It's really very clean. This was my first ever bullet journal, and I just realized that my mic is not in front of my face, so I'm gonna move it. Alright, so that is the first one, and as you can see, I kind of was really into purple. So this was in July when I was still at university, and then after that I moved over to, because I went back to school, I moved over to this one. And as you can see, this has kind of decolorized, peeled, cracked. Was some pleather thing. So this was quite some time ago. I used this from October 2014 all the way to November 2015. So this was slightly over a year. And how I used it here was that I realized that I needed a monthly overview. So I did, I think, monthly overview for usually about 1 quarter or half a year before I, like for meetings and stuff, before I did the usual. So November, and then November's to-dos, December, and then December's to-dos. And there's a little bit of color coding here. I think the pink was like, I was trying to do pop Pilates at the time, so those were like the workouts, and then the black was just regular stuff. And then it was 2015, so I had a bit of like resolutions here. 2015, oh, to be so young, right? And so this is January. I think I did like all the way to June. Yeah, I did half a year because I wasn't sure how long this book was going to last. And then I think, yeah, I started teaching tuition here, so these highlights were, so I had tuition here. I'm not sure what this Q is for. I'm actually a bit confused. Oh well, no issue. So a lot of stuff going on. Oh, this is where we snuck away to go to Batam. And then, so this is January, and I started cleaning out my old bedroom, and oh my god, my old bedroom was so big. I loved it. This is not drawn to scale though. Then again, like the pink is like exercise. And I tried doing some meal planning here. This is February. So as you can see, it's quite rudimentary. Like there's a bit of color going on, nothing much though. I don't know why there's a bit of washi tape here, but there is. Maybe just to mark this like summer challenge thing. I'm not sure what this is. I think I was trying to challenge myself to do a bunch of things over like the summer. No wait, that wouldn't make any sense though, because literally this is March. Oh right, that would make sense, like April, because April had like Camp NaNoWriMo. So yeah, and then in July I started doing a lot more tuition because I think I already was doing quite a fair bit of tuition, but I decided to color code everything. So yellow highlights were all like my tuition stuff, red purple was school, and then that was, I think the green was like my boyfriend, now husband was like in army or something, I think. I'm not really sure. And then this is like final year project stuff. So yeah, then submissions and stuff like that, and that went all the way to December. So again, same thing, same old like events, tasks. I didn't really shake it up a lot, so it was quite straightforward. I did start highlighting here a bit though. I'm kind of curious what pen it is, because like it didn't really smudge. So like, what pen was I using that didn't really smudge? Like, inquiring minds would like to know, but it's been so long I have no idea. Yeah, so I had a bit of a reading list. Hilariously, or rather sadly, a lot of this haven't been read yet. Yeah, so I mean, it kind of went all the way into November, December, at which point I was starting with other planning styles. So this was like a timeline and things like that. So I was like thinking of, and then I was like tracking water. So I was thinking like maybe I'll try something different. So that was November, and I didn't really continue into December after that. And also you can see this was like my really rudimentary start of lettering. It was very squished, not very well done. So this was 2015, and as you can see, this book is falling apart. I don't know why I still hold on to it, like sentiment I guess. But every time I take this out and open it up, you know, more things fall apart. I'm wondering if I can just peel this all off and like, if that would be fine. Anyway, so that brings me to the next one, and this was, let me just double check. This was, yeah. So this was my, so this is a Muji notebook, and it's about the same size. I was looking for something about the same size, but I couldn't find this notebook again, which I guess in retrospect is a good thing. So what I really wanted to do here was to I don't know, I was like on a lot of, so with this one, the thing is that at that point I had discovered like all the content on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Pinterest. So like, I started trying to do pretty things. So that's why you have like you know, inserts in here to make it like make a pocket, have a key like that I never referred to, so I don't even know why I did it. But yeah, so we had like Secret Santa and like presents, 16 things that I wanted to do before 2016. Actually, let's just see, clean up my room, did it eventually. Get back on Pilates, did not. Plan tuition, I guess I did. So the habit project is what I used to call the secret, which is like my thing. So I guess I did eventually. Schedule and perform year-end review. I'm guessing I did. Read more than 3 books. So hilariously, to me, The Thief, Kafka on the Shore, and Lillian Alive, out of these 3, I've only read 1. Eat cleaner, kind of. Learn how to cook, kind of. Build a morning routine, still work in progress after 7 years. Redo my hair. I just got my hair cut, so I guess yes, I have cut my hair multiple times. And then let's see, complete outstanding craft projects. No, I have not ever made a laptop sleeve or a brush roll. Drop hand, I guess. And then I don't think that counts. So anyway, as you can see, I started like having like colors and stuff in here, interesting things, savings kind of what do you call this, tracker. And then this is like tuition plans, and this was my November, so I copied it over from this one, I guess. And I had morning, afternoon, evening with the time here, so it wasn't super fixed, which I think is a good thing, because sometimes you have if it's like a 1 hour, like, you know, which is 1 square, that could be kind of hard. And then I mean, you've definitely seen this kind of habit trackers. I'm looking at this lettering now and I kind of cringe. Anyway, so I started doing like fancy headers and things like that. So this was like my fancy period, I feel. Like, I have no idea what these are. Okay, never mind. And then I even did like this sort of doodles, which I never do anymore. You are what you eat. So it's quite fancy for me because even today I don't do things like that. And then I was trying to do like capsule wardrobe, so like color schemes and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I like too much color to enjoy that. And this was December where I tried to doodle more stuff in. And I tried a very fancy habit tracker. This is probably the fanciest I've ever gotten. Probably. We'll see. It's a lot of stuff. And then I did the Plan With Me challenge because I started drawing stuff on Instagram. So, yep, that's where it started. Tuition. And then I doodled like my grandmother's sewing machine. Again, I drew out my room to reorganize. I think at one point I actually bought a second table. So I had like one, two, and a third table. So this was a very nice room. Still miss it, but it's gone now. Then I started doing like this sort of timeline, which let me indicate like when I had more things to do. And this is some uni stuff, and then year-end brain dump, and that I'm not sure where this is from, but I think I just copy pasted like the ones that made sense to me. And this is basically the end of 2015, which is, yeah, this was just 2015. Then for 2016, I did the same thing, only that I tried something new. So this was I think for January and February. So I had a separate little booklet here for the day-to-day, I think. Yeah, so I had like the collections and stuff in here. Yeah, so savings, 16 for 2016, a reading list, capsule again, tuition stuff, future log, and a letters for sending. And I stuck this in after I finished it. This was on my pinboard. I actually managed to finish the entire challenge. That was amazing. So I had my January stuff here, and then stuff for January, I guess. No, this was just general collection stuff. Then January tracker was here, so fancy ass tracker again. But I think this time I kept it to like a color day, and I rotated it. And then I had all the stuff here. I think this was like how healthily I ate, I feel. So like if it was pink, it was very unhealthy. Yellow was so, green was very healthy. And then I started drawing this like calendex that I think it's called, to track my time. And at some point I did a split, which was, here you go. So this was, I think the inner one, if I remember correctly, the inner one was how I planned to spend my time, and then the outer one was how I actually spent my time. Something like that. No. Yeah, the inner one is how I spend my time, the outer one here, because like grey is usually sleep. So I slept till noon, which makes more sense because like, yeah. Anyway, so this was January, and then budget, random things. Yeah, so I tried to be fancy by writing in French, of course I did. Right, and then term one, I think this was like tuition stuff. Anyway, so this was January. And then February was here, and again trying to be fancy with French. So the same thing basically, and I tried a few different layouts. So this was this way instead, and oh, this was like a thing that I did for my boyfriend. So I made him like a pop-up kind of like multi-layered box thing with, yeah. That was very cheesy back then. Whatever happened to me? Oh, this is so cute. This was me and my siblings with my grandma. This was the year I was 24 because I drew a monkey. Look at us, we're so cute. I was so skinny. Alright, anyway. Yeah, and then that was basically, I have no idea what this is. Oh no, this is school papers. And that was February, and I didn't do anything else here, I think. And this was, what is this? Oh, this was my sister's performance. And March, I didn't really touch here, and I think at this point I realized that this wasn't really working out for me, so I changed it up. So this double book thing didn't work, and it was a bit cramped, so I went into another Muji notebook, because at that point we still weren't getting like Leuchtturms and all that here that easily. So, oh, I wanted to show this though. So I made this little, and I just got, hilariously to me, I just got tagged this morning about this. So these were little dot stickers that I just colored with my, I think it was like Stapler Tri Plus fine liners, and I used them to tag like respective pages, so like calendar, financial, etc. I'm not sure if I ever used them, but I think it's a great idea. And I used them here as well. So once again, planning stuff, Etsy business, didn't actually work out, and yeah, stuff like that. So this is, we're still in 2016. So this is basically my fancy lettering journal kind of era. So this was like the level 10 life kind of thing that was big at that point in time. I think it's still big now, but like at that point in time it was super big. So I basically used the coloring in as a indication of how far I went. In retrospect, this is not very, it doesn't really tell you which level you're at, because I looking at this straight up, I can tell, right? And then we wanted to do the ABC dates. That was kind of funny. Cafes we wanted to try, and now we don't go to cafes anymore. Yeah, so March was, I'm not sure why there's a pot of gold, but there is. And this is also March. Oh, so at this point I actually got like a stamp for this, and then I would just draw the inner, what do you call this, the inner spiral, so that I knew what was going on, basically. And I think I used this for a really long time, actually. I am not sure what, oh no, this was my brother's concert. I think that's why there was a Bazinga sticker here, because my brother was very, very into Big Bang Theory at the point in time. So April, and I think the only insert for April was when we went to Bangkok, and oh my god, this makes me cringe. I was like, hang? This is terrible. Anyway, but I did enjoy this. It was quite fun. Like it's not my best art for sure. I never really filled it out in the end, but like I did have fun with the idea. This is where we stayed, and then yeah, plane ticket stuff. Anyway, it's not my best work, but I'm just gonna keep it anyway. And then this is me, and I was very into this green, and I think that I messed up, so I just glued the pages together. So I didn't have a fixed layout, and like things kept changing up, which was quite fun. And in the end, like went digital, so I made like a little stem here. Right. So the thing about doing this in an A5 was that I had a lot of space to get decorative, which was very fun. But what it also meant was that I was spending a lot of time on this, and I think at some point it just got a bit much. Like I just couldn't keep up anymore. So but it did take me a very long time to get this. So I think this was when people gave me like all these stickers, so I wanted to use them, so I put them here. I tried a lot of things, so this was like a timeline for gift making. It was honestly really fun, and okay, the back gets a bit messy, but then I decided, okay, it's time to go plain. So I went plain here. This was in November, so this is very plain. Like it suddenly went like, okay, no. And I think what I did was that I'll stick this in and I'll check it at the end of the day, because like I didn't want to, yeah, I didn't want to stress myself out of that. And then I started trying this out, which was a different kind of time tracker. I actually can't remember the code for this anymore. And then I also had this fascination with this pattern where I wanted to make like a pattern out of my tracker. And I also slimmed down the trackers, yeah. So this was September? Wait, I'm confused. I thought I was in November. No, I was in October. Oops. Oh, okay. I know what happened now. I got sick and tired of that. So I went from the back to the front. And this is page 1. Yeah, I got really tired of that. So in September, I basically went, nope, we are going to go back to front. And I tried this time tracker, which clearly did not work. And then this was a bunch of things. And then this was September. So slimmed down my tracker a lot. And yeah, I think this was supposed to be a gratitude thing that I didn't end up finishing. And then that was when I started trying like this. Yep, that makes more sense. I was like, why are we going backwards in time? Like, that doesn't make sense. So this was all the way until November. Yep. No, this was until I think the 30th. Yeah, this is until the end of October. And then I kind of scribbled November here and then we moved on. So I just wanted to use up the book basically. Alright, now I need to figure out what came next because I honestly cannot remember. And it was terrible, but I cannot remember which one came. Okay, I'm pretty sure this one came first, followed by 2018. This was this is 2018, but this is September. This yeah, okay, got it. So this was my Leuchtturm era, and they are all pretty much the same, so I'm going to keep it as fast as possible. I know I don't know whether this is fun to you, but like this is really fun to me. And okay, I'm finally showing this. This house doesn't exist anymore. I used to live here. I'm so sad that it's gone though. So this was from April 2017. So I think I took a break from plannering for a while. This kind of like a gap missing between this and this because this ended in October 2016. So I think I took a little bit of a break. Then I came back to this, which was April 2017. So this was my mood tracker. This was my time tracker, which as you can see is very colorful, and I actually have the color code here, so I actually know what it is. And based on the fact that this is own time, own target, bracket, fanfiction.net/archive of our own, I spent a lot of time reading fanfiction, and that has not changed. Wait, that's confusing. I thought I had Dushin. Oh no, wait, Dushin got moved forward, right? Yeah, so I was getting better at lettering at that point in time, and I was doing the gradient thing. I think these were done with Equaline, and I didn't learn my lesson. I went back to this complicated AF thing. And budget, never really figured out the budget. So this was NaNoWriMo Camp, and I think it was like number of words. I actually finished it, but I didn't finish it. But it wasn't fully finished basically. As in, it just didn't accumulate enough words. I started doing like more flower stuff. Oh, I love this course. This course was great. My husband bought it for me. This was also a course. I was taking a lot of courses at that point in time. This was like my ideal week that I would love to have. But truth is, I still can't achieve this ideal week. Yeah, anyway. So, I think this is stuff that I wanted to learn. April to-dos, and this was May. So again, and then I started doing a time graph of like how much time I spent, but clearly this was very ambitious because I stopped at halfway through the month. But I did have a lot of fun setting this up, I do remember that. And basically all these are colored by the color code. So honestly, these color codes took a lot of my time out, and I think at the end of the day I decided that like, you know what, it's too much work because there will be times when I don't even fill it out. And I guess I was okay with not filling it out, but it was still frustrating. I was trying to find some correlation here, I think, between like my mood, my sleep, my amount of activity. I think activity referred to like how much I moved, my diet, and how productive I was. Yeah. Lesson planning. I was still doing tuition at that point in time. And then this was quarter 3. And as you can see, my calligraphy got a lot better. quarter 2, quarter 3, got a lot better. This was very nice. This makes me cringe a bit. What on earth is this loop over here? Hello, past Lissy, what were you doing? Sorry, I'm very critical of myself. It is a problem. Yeah, so nothing really fundamentally different, but I think as time went by, I started simplifying. So this was very black and white. I started simplifying a lot more simply because like, it's just tiring to keep going with all the color, and it's not really for me. Like this, I still find okay. Actually, I still do use this sort of setup once in a while when I'm not sure when I'm going to do what. So I actually used it just like over the weekend. This is probably some sort of review. It's a very long review though. Oh, I remember what this is now. This was a thing. Anyway, this is November, where I went back to this to try it out again. I should try that out again. Actually, I still have the stem. And then December again. I was starting to fall off a bit, so I think I could sense that it wasn't working. Alright, and this was like letters and stuff. So a lot of stuff going on over here. I stuck very closely to the original idea a lot. Like, I didn't really innovate that much here until like the end. And then next one. I think I really just stuck to it. But I mean, it did work for me for a long time. I did add like more review stuff though, like from week to week, that I ended up not filling out, of course. And I did try very hard to review. I adjusted some stuff, but it was quite similar for quite some time. So this was little rectangle, hexagon. I was very into hexagons at the point in time. And I was starting to learn how to draw flowers, so that was fun. It was a public holiday, so I drew flowers on. Actually, I really like this page. It looks really nice. It's very aesthetic, but the problem is that it doesn't work on a daily basis. So if I remember correctly, how this worked was that the important stuff goes on top and then the rest of it goes below. But the problem would be that sometimes you don't have important stuff, so do you write it there or not? And then also, what if you ran out of space? So this was... Oh, I was reading Of a Linear Circle at this point, which is why I started writing in Latin. This was me trying to do some Instagram planning. Oh, I think this was, yeah, so this was moving. So we were going to move, and this was basically when like life got a bit haphazard. So I went a bit berserk, and yeah, I went completely black and white because it was just, oh, this was all my tuition stuff. And then like weddings and whatnot. And I did, oh, this was when I started putting like collections at the back because it made more sense to have them at the back rather than like scattered inside. And oh, I love this. This is like all the themes that I have. I want to do this again actually. And all the brush pens that I had. So I had a lot of Tombows back in the day, but a lot of them have cracked, so I threw a lot of them out. And these were the Coliro colors that I had. And now I'm not that into them. I think I gave most of them away actually. And okay, yeah. So that's pretty much about it. And that's this one. And the next one was, this was when I started working full time. So I didn't even finish this. I have so many empty pages here. So once I started working full time, like this stopped working as well. Or I don't know, this was when we moved, and then after that I started working full time not long after, because it started in December. So this was very haphazard. It's not, as you can see, it's really not very aesthetic. I tried, but it's very messy. Okay, this part is better, but like the front part here it's just one hot mess. So I'm not gonna flip too much into that. But I can show you this. This was like me sketching out blog pages back in the day. And this is like a exercise thing that I wanted to do. Didn't end up doing. This was Q4. I actually really like this set of stamps. Oh no, wait. This was a stamp. These were me drawing it in like to like match. So I went back to so what I do when I struggle, I realize, is that I go back to basics. So I went back to the what I really started with, kind of, and it worked for a while. And then in December, again January, February, March, so I was trying to go back to what I knew, but it just wasn't really working out that well. Like, I set up April, May and June, and subsequently I only used this to journal random things and stuff to accomplish, and yeah, basically nothing much. So I kind of like screeched and like, you know what, I need a new book. I kind of like wanted to start like anew, so I did. And can you see the discoloration of the pages? Can you see how many pages I have left? Yeah, it did not work out. So this sort of journaling for me when I was working full-time, plannering for me when I was working full-time, it just didn't make sense, because I didn't do enough to justify needing this. So this was in July, and I was already working full-time at the point in time. So like these were basically, I think these were these work hours? I think these were just I am awake hours. I wasn't even tracking, like, it's just there wasn't that much to put down about like work and stuff like that. There's a bit, but it was very routine, so there just wasn't a need for it. And yeah, so I did have to-do lists, but again, a lot of the to-do lists had nothing to do with work, so this would just sit in my bag doing absolutely nothing for the bulk of the day. I was a little, as you can see, work stuff is literally here, so I ended up not using this a lot, and I guess I got really frustrated after a while that I was doing all this, and like I was trying to like organize my life, but it wasn't really working out, so I gave up. This was I don't know which year was this. I feel like this was 2020. Wait, was this 2020? I am so confused. I actually am not. Yeah, this was 2020, and also 2020 was COVID year, so there was just, in a sense, it was routine and a lot going on, so just a lot of things fell off, like you know, kind of just dropped off, and I didn't use it. And given that I was doing a lot I only came back to this towards the end of the year, and I was doing it like this, I figured, why not get a weekly view, like a printed planner weekly view. So I did that for 2021 and 2022 as well. But 2021 was, so the thing is that I left my job in May, so I did use this quite consistently, and it did work until about then. And then after that, when I left my job again, this stopped working for me, and I kind of like clung on to it for quite some time, trying to make it work, because it did work at first. So I used the same system for 2022, though I ended up tracking the books because I don't think I actually ended up using it enough to justify keeping it. So these were rather rudimentary, like I was tracking my PhD intake, I had a sleep tracker, I had my habits, which I preferred to have them here rather than in the provided habit tracker. So they're basically in this book, like everything in front, like basically everything in front, like a bit of, like this was just useless because I didn't use it. So that was 2021 and 2022 as well, though I don't have it. And then you have seen 2023. So 2023 was when, in a way, I went back to my roots. And because if you look at this and you look at, oh, please don't drop, we only had one episode today. If you look at this and you look at this, wait, where is it? you look at this and you look at this, it's not too dissimilar, honestly. It's really not too dissimilar in that, like. And then if you look at these, just let me find a general page of random to-dos. If you look at this, and you look at, let's say, this, you wouldn't think that this is 2015 and this is 2023, like 8 years separated. Is it 8 years? About that. Like, you wouldn't think that this was 8 years apart, but it is. So this actually really works for my life right now. And so I went back to what worked basically, though I did in the end add this for a little bit more, because there are more moving components in my life now. So this does help as an overview and all that. So this is where I am today, kind of. So this was last year, and then this year, this is where I am today, which is with the quarterly view for a bit of goal setting, just for intention setting. I actually don't refer to this too much, but I feel like this is good as like set your intent and refresh every like now and then. Financial, I'm still looking at it. Weekly, which you've seen like 2 weeks of, I am still, again, this is something that I am looking at. I'm not sure if it will work out. I hope it does, but I might revamp as I go along. And then of course the stuff that works, like honestly at the end of the day I come back to this and it works brilliantly. So this is what works. And oh, of course, like the weeks which I packed away for, so the weeks is currently packed away because I'm leaving for Japan soon, and this video is being filmed in advance so that there is stuff to post, and also because I wanted to post on the actual anniversary date. So this is my current weeks with the stuff in the bag. Where they go? Yeah, so I have like the collections in the bag, which I started doing last time. And yeah, basically, so this is what's working now, and it's kind of an evolution, but devolving as well, I guess, because I did go back to basically basics. It was like what worked like 8 years ago, and I think it's kind of cool to see like how things change, like just the entire progression from like really plain to not so plain, or really plain to a bit of color coding, to influenced by the internet way too much and have way too many complicated things, but somehow enjoy it. Like, I did enjoy it at the time, and I did have the time for it. And then after that, when you don't have time, like you simplify back again. And now I'm complicating it again. So it's kind of interesting to see the progression, and like, but I do like that I have essentially come back to my original basics here with like, a little bit of color coding, less obvious now. This actually has 2 colors, it's like black and a green. And with like the assistance of a bit more, because life is, as a married woman living on your own with your husband, life is a bit more complicated than living as a child in your parents' house. A legal adult but still technically a child in your parents' house is a bit different. So yeah, so that is basically my 10-year bullet journal journey. I know this isn't a traditional bullet journal per se, but I would still consider it that way because I feel like it does work similarly. I don't know, like I feel like here at least it's very similar to what I used to do, and so I would count it as that, because I mean I do have decorative aspects, but I kind of like restrain it to certain areas, so I would count it as that and not just like creative journaling. So anyway, that is my 10-year review, kind of. I hope you. So that basically wraps up my 10-year bullet journal journey. I hope you had fun looking at everything with me. It is quite a departure, yet like a return to what I started with, so it's been quite fun to look back at it. And I knew that I was returning to basics on some level, but like comparing what 2023 looked like against like 2015 has been like, it's been quite incredible actually, at 2014 to 2015. It's been quite incredible actually to see them side by side and realize that, hey, like, you know, some things that work for your brain just really work for your brain. And kind of, if it ain't broke, you know, there's no point in messing with it, I guess. I mean, you can still try new things, but like, sometimes like, going back to basics do really help. So anyway, I think I have been going on for long enough. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you on Monday for a regularly scheduled video. Again, it will be a pre-film kind of thing because I am away right now, but I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. I will catch you then. Bye!